So let's continue with the example. So now what we have done so far is we have created two employees object obj1 and obj2, and both the object have the same values, which is 1 and Naveen. So what we are doing, we're comparing obj1 with obj2. If they are equal, I want to print equal. If they are not equal, I want to print not equal, right? But still, though both they have the same values, even if you run this code now, you will get the answer as not equal, right? It's because the hash code are not the hash code is not same. So in order to compare, what we'll do is we'll define a method, we'll override that method which is called as equals, and the signature for equals is it returns a boolean value, and we'll say it is equals, and it accepts a object of, let's say, emp obj. Now how are we to compare this? So first we'll do a comparison. Okay, something wrong here. Okay. So first, initially the value for this boolean will be, let's say, false. So initially it is false. So we'll say it is result equal to false, and we'll say return result. Now the only condition when it becomes true is if my value, which is eid, if dot eid is equal to obj dot eid, then only it should return a true, with one more condition. If my ename is same, so we'll say ename dot, because it's a string, so we have to use equals instead of equal to, and we'll say here is obj dot ename. So we are comparing the object name here. If both are same, then we'll say result is equal to true. Otherwise, it is still false. Clear? Is there a mistake here? So it is bracket. I guess I've closed extra bracket here. Yeah. So now, so if I run this code, you can see I have overridden a method called as equals. So instead of using the equal method of object class, it will use equals method of my class. And if you compare this now, you're getting the output as equal, right? But hold on. As we have discussed, if two objects are equal, their hash code should be same. Unfortunately, for this example, your hash code is not same, right? So now how to have the same hash code? So the concept of hash code says if two objects are equal, they should have same hash code. But if two objects have the same hash code, that doesn't mean they are same. Okay. So in this example, both the objects are same, so the hash code should be same. So what we'll do is we'll say public hash code returns a int value, and the method name is hash code. This hash code, and okay, it is hash code, and this hash code will return a value. Now what we'll do is we'll say return, it is eid, and then we'll do some calculation. We'll say eid plus, it should also return my, we'll assign a empty string here. We want a string, we cannot have string. So we'll say plus 5,000 plus, we can have any formula here. EID plus 5,000 plus ename dot length. So now it will make sure that or you can also use, so you can use this EID with the EID and any number. You can use any formula here. We just want to make to sure that both the objects will have the same hash code. So if I run this code now, if I say run this, the output is, see the output here. It is 13.8e, 13.8e. So both the objects have the same value and the same hash code. You will say it is what this formula means. You can have any formula with the help of these two variables. But it's always a good idea that whenever you use a NetBeans IDE or Eclipse IDE, what you can do is we can simply say source uh, generate hash code and equals for both the variables and say okay. And you can see we are getting a hash code here. We don't want equals because we have defined the logic of equals by ourselves. We can also use equals of this Eclipse. So you can see we have defined a hash code and this is the formula they are using. So format doesn't matter, but it's always better to use a formula which will make sure that two objects will have the same hash code if they are same. So you can see they are having the same hash code and they are equal. Now what if I have different values? So just make change the value here. So instead of Navin, let me make one change which is double EN, which is not my name, but still people call me with this name, which is NAV Let's try to run this. If I run this application now, you can see they are saying it's not equal and their hash code is also not same. Clear? So this is how we need to use a equals method and hash code.